And we're live. Welcome to Beyond Cancer with Marina Blackford. I am so excited for a live. It's our first live of November. Pinch me. I can't believe it's November. But at the same time, I love it because the weather's getting cooler. Fall vibes are happening. Look, I have like a pullover. This is awesome. Okay. How's everything here? Good. All right. The live is for you and for me selfishly. I love connecting. I started this channel, oh my gosh, over 5 years ago. Just wanted to share videos on helping people through chemo, something I had done. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer again. So most of the videos on my channel are my second journey through breast cancer treatment. There are tip videos, vlogs, and now lives for you. So subscribing will help you see when I go live. So make sure you subscribe. I think that'd be really helpful if you want to come on here with me and connect. All right. So where are you on your journey? If you want to share where you're at, like if you're in treatment, are you done with treatment? Are you trying to figure out that next thing that lights you up? Because I've been in all of those places. I've been in treatment, chemo, radiation, breast surgeries, staph infection, all of that. And I've been out of treatment, which is the year or two after treatment, where the dust is settling. You're figuring out your schedule of scans and appointments, and you're just kind of processing, and mainly figuring out your body again, where your energy is. It's a journey the year or two after treatment, and some of you might be on medication still after active chemo and radiation, and that is a journey because it comes with side effects. And so it's really figuring out like how you feel and talking to your doctors. And now I'm on the third part of that, to me, which is figuring out what lights me up. And it's been spending time with my family. It's been running. I'm training for another marathon. I'm going to run the Disney World Marathon in January 2026 for team and training, and I'm raising money for Blood Cancer United. I'm so happy to be doing that because blood cancers are leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and it affects 1.6 million Americans that are living with it now. And so for me to raise money for research, it's empowering. I love it. It gives purpose to me getting up and running when I don't feel like it. It's the fact that I get to run. It's the fact that running actually brings me some peace. It's wild, but movement makes me feel really good. And I get to help raise money for an awesome cause. And the end goal will be getting to Disney World with my family. So I'm in this stage of kind of figuring out, what makes me happy in doing it. And I think that's a stage you kind of have to get to. I'm listening to an amazing podcast right now, so I'm going to suggest that after this, when you have time, maybe check that out. Yay, first comment is on. And it's from one of my favorites. Quatrice says, happy Friday, Marina and everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm in Arizona, so time change here. We're on Mountain Standard Time now because Arizona does not change time. We're on a little island over here. So it is 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I just stuck to what I know in my body, like when I go live Friday, 10 a.m. And that is when you can usually find the lives on Fridays. So happy Friday, Quatrice. Thank you. Bring the energy, bring the questions, any of it. Treatment questions, what can I do about this or that, whatever works. You might hear a dog barking. It's my corgi puppy who is guarding our house fiercely. Okay. All right. Quatrice is sharing. I'm actually at my cancer center. Showed up 2 hours early for my appointment, but in time for the live. Yay! There you go. You're hanging out. You have something to do. You can connect, which I think is the piece that is so helpful along the way, especially when you're done with active treatment, like I believe you are, Quatrice, is when you're done with active treatment and now you just have appointments like every 6 months or so, let's say, it's kind of like this weird feeling of like, what now? Like, what now? Like, I'm supposed to reconnect with my family, but they don't really know what this is like to go through menopause and medication, whatever, fatigue. They don't know. Um, and I don't see my doctors that I can talk to that often anymore. And so you're in this weird, like, uh, frustration. How do I feel? Um, I know that feeling. And so again, that's why I create what I feel like is helpful. So I want to continue going live because this is a safe place for you to feel those things. Like, I get it. We get it. Fatigue is real. Menopause is real. Being a mom or caring for others is real. The mental load while you're working is real. If you're not retired, like, oh my gosh, like the mental load these days. Let's just touch on that briefly, but to throw in the mix that we are living in the most s- stimulating time in history. You look left, there's news. You look right, there's social media. I mean, it's very, very stimulating, overstimulating. So, how do we find peace during that time? I think connecting with people is is probably one of the most important things we can do today. So, in this place, you'll feel connected to people that have been on the cancer journey. And I hope in life you can take those moments that you need to connect, plug in where you need to be, connect with survivors or connect with your family in those moments, create those moments, like transition those moments so you can be present. Connection and being present, those have to exist um, to find some peace, I feel like. And so that actually goes back to this podcast I was listening right before coming on live. One of my favorite podcasts because I think some stuff out there is overwhelming and some I don't know if overwhelming is the word. But there's a lot of podcasts that kind of say the same thing, like just, do this, do that. And I have enjoyed them on and off throughout the years, like Mel Robbins or Jay Shetty. But after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm like knowledge based, like give me like good juicy stuff. And I feel like my favorite right now is Diary of a CEO. He interviews Stephen Bartlett. He interviews like experts and he interviews them so well. So I'm listening to him interviewing Dr. Jill, and she is a neuroscientist that had a stroke and had to relearn how to use the left side of her brain. And what she has to say about the brain and humanity is really interesting. She's a Harvard neuroscientist, Dr. Jill Bolt Taylor. So that was just released. That's a really, really good one. And so she talks about the brain and how the left hemisphere is analytical and it keeps us safe. And it holds traumas of the past. And the right side of the brain is all about like emotion and love. And so when you're on this journey of cancer trauma, and healing, it's like you literally have to be aware so you can use a part of your brain that makes you feel peace, which is the right side, which is being present and connected. Crazy stuff. So good. All right, this is about you. Let's go to your questions. I'd love to answer questions and say hi to anybody that's here with me live. Welcome. All right, it was a really big handle here. Welcome, Griselle Gabrielle. Welcome, Crystal. Crystal, woohoo, I made it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You look beautiful. Sarah Smith, I'm on Lupron monthly and tamoxifen, completely fatigued and struggling to deal with that, and joint pains. Did you have those? What did you do to help? Um, this is a great question, Sarah, and I am going to lean on some others here to help me answer. I'm in menopause. I had a full hysterectomy after having breast cancer twice and having the BRCA1 genetic mutation. So I'm not on tamoxifen because I was triple negative. I've heard it can cause joint pain. Fatigue could be totally normal depending how far out you are from chemo, and how long you've been taking these. So I think that is a factor. Here's what I've heard. You just have to talk to your doctors, and let them know. I don't know if there is a different AI aromatase inhibitor you can try, or if there's a different dosage. I don't know. Usually not a different dosage, but it's worth asking because they want the effectiveness of the medication they have you on. But here's what I know to be important, which is your quality of life. And that's why giving these medications a good try is important, because we don't want you to have cancer. We want to get you to at least 5 years free of cancer from treatment. That's the most important. It's a significant number. If we can get cancer survivors to 5 years, the likelihood of it reoccurring drops. The risk drops a lot. And so can you get to 5 years on these? I don't know. But that's the goal. And so if that's the goal, how can you get there and still feel like you have a quality of life? It's so important. I wish I had a better answer for you. I did. It's not a black and white answer with this stuff sometimes. So anybody else here have experience with Lupron and tamoxifen? Quatrice, yes, it's a different space for sure. Lots of other appointments, lymphedema, oncology follow-ups, but leaning into something for me, it's becoming a pro MUA to feel beautiful again in their skin. I love it. Yes. Share the what is MUA? What does that stand for? I just want to, is it makeup? Something like that? Share. I want to know more. I don't know that language. Hello, Tariq. Sarah Smith. Oh, hold on. We're live, but Puppy has something he shouldn't. Hey, let me see. Good. Thank you. Okay. Wild. If it's why, see, you come to the lives, you never know what you'll get. You'll get a corgi puppy running around with a box in his mouth. Sarah says, I'm 2 years post chemo. That's a great place to be, Sarah. I feel like you are at a great place to really figure out what lights you up, what makes your soul happy. And it's a question not a lot of us ask ourselves when we've been busy working and, again, like, either taking care of ourselves or others. I feel like cancer is always telling us something like, hey, it might be time to really pay attention to what lights you up, so that you make some time for that. It doesn't take a lot of time, but enjoying it could be taking a painting class. It can be getting outside more. It could be setting a new, whatever it is, like decorating your space different, but paying attention to that, because otherwise we're just going through the motions of life and we're not really living. And so congratulations. I'm being 2 years out. Quattri says, on letrozole and the joint pain is real. Stretching and strength training and PTOT has been great for my bone health. I love this response. It's a very, very true, very active response. It's taking something like knowing we have to be on a medication to stay cancer free, right? But doing something about it. I love that mindset. That's the mindset I've always had too, Quatrice. And so I'm going to scroll back up here. It was Sarah that asked that. Sarah, I have done PT and OT on and off for needs as well, like having some leg pain. I made sure to get a bone scan to make sure it wasn't anything. I was all good. Go to PT, which did help. It gave me exercises to use at home, remembering to stretch, remembering to do weights, or right now I do both. I do weights 2 days a week and then I run 4 days a week because of marathon training. But putting into practice some things are more important than ever when you're on these kinds of medications. These are things we should be doing more as we get older anyways. It's so important, if your step count isn't as high because you don't have to physically move around at a job as much, then you need to build in that exercise. You need to go to an exercise class or go for a walk. But these things become really important when you're on treatment, even though it feels Counterintuitive. My joints hurt. I won't move. I'll just rest. The opposite will help. Movement will help. Weights will help. Um, Connecting with people while you're doing those things will help. Give it a try. Yes, makeup artist. Okay, MUA, makeup artist. Yay, Quatrice. I love it. Ooh. I'm like, I want to see the things you're doing. The puppy is hilarious right now. My quirky puppy. He's like a naughty little dog sometimes. Okay. So Quatrice says, my joy has been glamming up clients and friends. Oh, it's so helpful. I am not a big makeup person. I put on just enough to make me feel like I have color and I don't have bags under my eyes. And I liked to do that during chemo. It made me feel like fill in the eyebrows. It just made me feel better. But when I have a friend that's really good at makeup, you better believe that's the friend that I'm asking if I have, like, I was on stage last year sharing my story as a survivor. I was like, "Hey, friend that's good at makeup, will you come do my makeup? Because I'm not the expert." It is so nice to have that person in your life. So thanks for being that person for someone. You can be that person for someone. You can pay forward your knowledge to help others, and I don't think there's anything better than that. I don't think there's anything better than that. It's so good. Yay! I'm so happy we're live today. Thank you for being here. As a reminder, my channel has so many videos that I think it's hard to navigate sometimes. So I'm trying to take time to make my playlists more exact, like a newly diagnosed playlist. Watch these 5 videos, that kind of thing. So you can look for that here. You can type in keywords like chemo, radiation, lumpectomy, breast cancer surgery tips. Those are all really popular videos that I feel like could help. Yep. Love it. Yay. We have someone else saying, hello. Hi, Sassy. Hello with a heart. So good. And Sarah says, well done, Quatrice. Yes. It feels so empowering. Again, if you're new here, I mean, I talk about these topics a lot. So if you've been here a while, hey, it's a good reminder. But I want to remind you that on this journey, even though when we feel like we don't have any choices, we do. When we feel like we don't have a choice that we got cancer, I get that. That sucks. Ugh, I I don't like it. It makes me really sad to hear when people have cancer. But you do have choices. You have a choice in which doctor you see. You have a choice in how you go through treatment. You might not feel like you have a choice to do chemo. I get that. Some people do. Some people are like, I'm not doing chemo, and that's their right. But as somebody that had triple negative breast cancer, I knew the importance of doing chemo and getting through it. And so I had choices on how I got through chemo. I made sure I was eating healthy snacks. I made sure I was resting when I wasn't used to resting. I made sure I drank a lot of water, a lot of water. And those things have helped me to this day to be mindful of, how am I doing? How am I feeling? I got to be honest. I love this time of year, right? Weather's getting cooler, cozier. When the weather gets cooler, cozier, I find it hard personally to be motivated um, to cook sometimes. I don't know why. I'm just feeling that this week. Maybe it's just this week. So here's what I'm going to do. I told myself today, I have a choice. I can either look up new recipes or like get meal delivery. And then I tell myself meal delivery is kind of expensive. So I'm going to use the grocery store app, has meal recipes there that I can like and just put it into my grocery pickup order. So this week, kind of just lagging on inspiration. I have choices. We all have choices every day. So remember that. Quatrice is sharing that when she was feeling down, it was time to do something that would light her up. And she had the choice to become a pro makeup artist and pay that forward to others. It's so good. It's makes my heart happy. All right. So what choices do you have right now? You don't have to answer it. I'm not like a teacher, raise your hand. But where do you feel stuck in treatment or life right now? Identify that first. Okay. Where do I feel stuck? And then what are 3 options that get me out of that? What are 3 things I can do? And when you look at those 3 things, which one of those feels like the natural next step? And when that is the natural next step, I want you to see if you can do it in the next day. And if it's like, "Well, my I can't talk to my nurse today." Okay, well, you probably can't actually call your cancer center right now or email or use the portal if that's what it is. But if it's something outside of treatment, um, for me, I'm working on speaking more, so right now I just updated my LinkedIn yesterday, and my next step is, responding to, getting on a speaker board so that I can get more opportunities to share my story to inspire people to either run a marathon, get through cancer treatment, or start a YouTube channel. But those are things I did, and by sharing my story, it helps others. So I have a next step that I'm working on personally. And when I do that next step, it feels really good to move towards something that's important to me right now. I haven't even read this yet, but I feel like I just wanted to wanted to breathe out. Quatri says, "My struggle for the past month has been my mental health. Just worked with my med team to take a break from work and my other roles to focus on myself." Yeah. I just wanted to pause on that because that was so real and vulnerable to share. I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially that have been through treatment and after, and have had to navigate so many changes in what feels like a short amount of time, probably even a couple years. I mean, it's not a large amount of time to have gone through treatment, to be on new medications, to go through menopause, and to live in a time that's more overstimulating than ever. Yeah. Mental health is real. It's real for anybody living today, let alone the cancer survivor. But Quatrice said something very empowering, that she worked with her medical team to decide to do something different, right? She says, "Yes, Marina, excellent idea. Working through this process right now, setting boundaries so that I can resolve my burnout." WDC says, "I recently started guided meditation, has been helpful." Meditation is so helpful. It is so helpful. It helped me a lot at different times on this journey when I was everything. It's helped me through motherhood. It's helped me through like brand building, and it's just helped me feel more relaxed and calm. Meditation is activating the right side of the brain, which is our side that is present and emotional. And when we spend time on this right side of the brain being present, that is where joy lives. It's the only place joy lives, really. Even if it's recounting maybe some of the past, it's when you remember how you felt when you were happy, that can be meditation. And so let's go there now. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to breathe in. I want you to breathe out through your mouth. And when you feel anxious during the day, this practice of breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth is a physical release of stored tension. It stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. It's a little bit deeper. And when you do that like 4 times, box breathing, or you trace your fingers that I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to breathe out, and you just do that. And you start to do that, you visualize a time that made you feel really good. Maybe it was a great vacation. Maybe it was who was there with you. Maybe it was the sound of the ocean. Maybe it was Thanksgiving with the family members you love. Maybe it was your sports team winning that really close game at the very end. And in that moment of joy, you were present and you felt it in your body. And that moment is something you can live every day. All it takes is a moment to just notice how you feel, that you're alive, that you woke up, that even when you feel like you don't have a choice to go to work or to do something that doesn't totally light you up, in that moment, you have a choice to interact with people in a way that feels better. You can get your to-do list done. You can make a good choice on what you have for dinner. You can just change something a little bit to make it feel better. You can look at somebody in the eye when you talk to them and not wait to say what you have to say next, but to hear what they're saying right then. You can pause. You can smile. You have the power to change someone's day, and that feels good inside. And when you feel good inside, you know you're really living. You know you're here for a reason. And you don't have to have it all figured out, because the only moment that's your life is this moment right now. And so, how does the air feel? How does it feel to be happy? And what choice can I make that's just going to make me feel a little bit better today? And what's that one thing I've been putting off that might make me feel a little bit better if I move towards it today? And you take a deep breath in and you remember that you don't really have to do anything, but you get to. You get to do something. And that feels really empowering. And so you breathe in and you breathe out, and you just here right now. And that's what meditation is. It's really good. Sarah says, my mental health has also been a great struggle for me for the past month, also working with my med team to help me cope and be thriving again. Thank you all for your vulnerability today, because mental health is real. It affects all of us. And it's important to talk to people like your medical team. It's important to use tools that help you feel a little bit better. I used to not like the word thriver because some days I didn't feel like I was thriving, especially in that year or 2 after having cancer. I just felt like I was, like, still just trying to get my energy back, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to do more than I needed to do. So sometimes you just have to figure out what's the bare minimum of what I need to do to serve myself and those closest to me, my family. And then what's a little bit extra that I could just do for myself today? Sometimes for me, it was a bath. Sometimes for me, it was getting a pedicure. Sometimes for me, it was doing a YouTube live so I could connect with people. Um, and then just letting the rest go. Like what doesn't have to get done, that's not a big deal. You know, there's seasons. There's seasons to life. I mean, the season I'm in right now is a little bit of a purge season, and it's been really nice. So I've been cleaning out different areas of my stuff. And it's been really great just to go through my closet in sections, go through my jewelry in sections, and just kind of like give away things that I'm not using. Because sometimes even physical stuff can weigh us down. So um, don't worry about it if it's not your season to do that. But when it's your season to go through it, release it, release it, release it. And it'll be really helpful. Today's live was just something I wanted to move through with you all and feel connected. Subscribe so you can get notifications for when the next live is. Wow, November. Let's do it. Let's go live again. Let's go live again. I'm going to shoot for in 2 weeks we'll go live. But you know what? I'm probably going to go live random next week. So you should probably just subscribe. That's not like a bait thing. I kind of go with the flow sometimes on that stuff. But I love that you're here and I hope you all have a great day. And if you have any questions for me, you can email me at info at marinablackford.com. And I'll see you all in the next live. Have a good day.